People find happiness only in a family, and the greatest obstacle to happiness is expecting too much happiness. Happiness is not something ready made, children. It comes from only through your actions. Here in this picture, can you guess the lesson which we are going to start? Okay, looking at this picture, can you find out and say the lesson which we are going to discuss today? Yes, your guess is right. Today we are going to discuss about how do organisms reproduce. Part 1, Asexual Reproduction. Myself, your biology teacher, Dr. D. Premila Jnanarani, PGT Biology, Sri Bala Vidyalaya, Perambur. Now let us move on to today's topics. Today we are going to discuss about the definition of reproduction, types, ways of asexual reproduction like the fission, fragmentation, budding, spore formation, vegetative propagation, regeneration and tissue culture. Now let us move on to today's topics, that is the definition of reproduction. Okay, let me ask you one question. What is meant by reproduction? Yes, you're right. The production of similar species or individuals from their parent continually is called reproduction. Reproduction can also be called as the production of new generation of individuals of the same species that are physically independent of their parents. Okay, let me ask you one question. Why do we need reproduction process? Yes, your guess is right. Reproduction is an essential biology process for the multiplication, perpetuation and continuity of species. Okay, now the modes of reproduction are sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Now let us move on to know about asexual reproduction. That is, today we are going to discuss only about asexual reproduction. As we all know that asexual reproduction, in this method, it involves only what? Single parent. That is, new plants are obtained without the production of seeds or spores. Here, the first one we are going to discuss under asexual reproduction is fission. Fission is nothing but splitting of unicellular organisms into two or more daughter cells. So, depending upon the splitting up of the cell into daughter cells, it is divided into binary fission and multiple fission. Here in this picture, you can see the differences between binary fission as well as multiple fission. Here, binary fission takes place in amoeba, leishmania and paramecium, even under, that is, this one takes place only in favorable condition, whereas the multiple fission takes place during unfavorable condition. This is seen in Plasmodium. Here in binary fission, two identical daughter cells are formed by the division of the parent, whereas in multiple fission, the parent cell divides into several small, nearly equal sized daughter individuals. That is, the cell divides several times. As I've already told you, this takes place only during the unfavorable condition. Now let us move on to the know about in detail how the binary fission in amoeba takes place. See here in the picture, you see the amoeba divides after it has grown into what? A mature state. Now, due to its pseudopodia, see how the pseudopodia are pulled in and the nucleus gets divided. So, a constriction occurs and a bridge is formed. The cell body divides and the nucleus gets splitted, and after some time the daughter amoebae are formed. Now here next picture shows you how the multiple fission is formed in Plasmodium. I hope you have understood the fission, children. Now let us move on to budding. Budding is nothing but here the parent gives rise to young ones by itself like a bud. That is, after some times the young one detaches from the parent. This takes place in yeast and hydra. Now here in this picture you can see the budding of hydra. Here in budding, the production of new individual from an outgrowth of the parent individual is seen. Here in this hydra body, a bulging appears on the body of the hydra. That is, a bulge, you can see a bud formation on the lateral side of what? The hydra. This bud is formed by the repeated meiotic division in the cells. The bud enlarges in size, and by further division of cells, it attains the shape exactly of the parent to which it is attached, and then finally it gets detached. Now let us move on to know about the budding in yeast. Here in this picture you can see the yeast budding. In yeast, due to favorable condition, a bud-like structure appears at one end of the parent cell. This gradually enlarges in size. Now, the nucleus also enlarges and gets divided into two daughter nuclei. One daughter nucleus goes into the bud and the other remains in the parent cell. Gradually, the bud becomes almost of the same size as the parent cell, children. Then, a constriction appears at the base of the bud and a separating wall is formed. Here in this picture, third picture, you can see the bud forms another bud. This is caused by, that is, sometimes a bud can produce another bud over it while it is attached to the parent cell. This forms a false mycelium or pseudomycelium. Here you can see the picture of clearly how the yeast budding is taking place. Now let us move on to the next one, fragmentation. Fragmentation takes place in what? Multicellular organisms. These multicellular organisms are comprised of a random collection of cells without differentiation of specialized tissues and organs. So, these organisms reproduce by breaking into small pieces. Each piece is referred as fragmentation. This fragmentation is seen in the green algae, filamentous mycelial fungi and thalloid bryophytes. Here in this picture you can see the slimy green patches in ponds or in other stagnant water bodies are called as algae, children. Here under favorable condition, these algae break into two or more fragments and this process continues and they cover a large area in short period of time. Now over to the next asexual method of asexual reproduction, that is spore formation. Spores are formed in sporangia, that is singular sporangium, plural sporangia. Spore is nothing but a single or several celled reproductive structures that detach from parent and give rise directly or indirectly to a new individual. See children, these spores are of two types. If the spores are non-flagellated, that is they won't be able to move, you refer them as non-motile, and these non-flagellated non-motile spores are called as aplanospores. Whereas the other type of spore which is flagellated and motile, that is they are able to swim, are referred as zoospores. Spore formation is seen in bacteria and fungi, children. Now let me describe the process clearly. During spore formation, the fungal hypha develops an enlarged sporangium, okay, where the nucleus of it divides several times and gets surrounded by a bit of cytoplasm, and this develops into a spore. The spores mature inside the sporangium and is liberated by rupturing of sporangial walls to be dispersed and to grow into an individual. Each spore grows into a new hypha after getting germinated onto a new habitat or substratum, that is after getting attached to a new habitat or substratum. This is seen in Rhizopus, Penicillium, Mucor and Aspergillus. Let us move on to the other method of asexual method, that is vegetative propagation. Now we all know that all the plants, they grow from seeds. Here vegetative propagation is nothing but production of plant, that is new plants are produced from the other parts, that is other edible parts like the roots, stems, leaves and buds. Since the reproduction is through the vegetative parts of the plant, it is known as vegetative propagation. That is, the parts other than seed are used as propagules. This one is seen in banana, rose plant and pineapple plant. Why do we use such type of asexual mode in these plants is the first one, either the plants would have lost capacity to produce seeds or they might produce non-viable seeds. Okay, this vegetative propagation itself is of two methods, that is one is natural method and the other one is artificial method. Natural method is nothing but, see, the modified tuberous roots like sweet potato, buds present on the roots that grow into shoot, which is seen in guava, and the underground modified stem like the rhizomes referred as ginger, corms, bulbs, adventitious buds on leaves which you see in bryophyllum. All these are vegetative propagation. Here the artificial methods are nothing but the methods which the horticulturists use, that is cutting, layering and grafting. Cutting, layering and grafting. Here in this picture you can see the methods of vegetative propagation by the cutting. This one is can be seen in moringa plant, rose plant. And here as what you can see from the eyes of the potato, sprouts come. So it is a natural method. Now let us move on to the next slide. Here you can see the natural method of vegetative propagation seen in ginger. This can also be seen in turmeric. And natural method which is seen in the bryophyllum, that is adventitious buds on the leaves like bryophyllum, they grow into new plants. Here the next one we are going to learn about the asexual method is regeneration. Regeneration. What is regeneration, children? Yes, you are right. The ability of an organism to regenerate its lost parts of the body that has been cut off or removed by injury. This one you refer it as autotomy, and this is seen in what? Planaria. See, you could have seen the lizards. If the tail has been cut, what will happen? The lizard's tail will grow. So this part of asexual method is referred as regeneration. Now you can see starfish. If any of the part of the starfish is being cut, say for example its fingers are cut, it grows again. So this comes under the asexual mode of reproduction called as regeneration. Now let us move on to the next one, that is tissue culture method of asexual reproduction. Tissue culture. Here this tissue culture method is used by the horticulturists to develop new improved plants. Here the plant cell tissues are cultured on a sterilized medium having nutrients and hormones needed for the growth of the cells. Now when the cells are put into that sterilized medium, they grow and they get undifferentiated mass of cells, that is the cells grow into an undifferentiated mass of cells. Now the cells are referred as callus. Then the callus is transferred to the other medium to grow into different plantlets. Then the plantlets are kept in, that is, they are planted in pots and they are grown. In this method, tissue culture, we can grow plants like dahlia, chrysanthemum and orchids. I hope you have all understood the method of reproduction, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.